Oh, it was on the tip of my brain. Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're here today.
We're back.
For another episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast, which is a podcast for gamers who don't have time to game.
Yes.
Yes,
correct.
Indeed. And so we're once again here without our co-host Daniel, because he is still recovering and being the deadest, tiredest, daddest.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, welcome to episode 2 of season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping the season 3 rolling.
Rolling along here. So this is good. Glad to be here. Glad to be recording again for another episode for all of you lovely people out there.
I just realized that I was nodding my head, and this is a podcast, so no one can see me doing that.
No one can see you nod.
So yes,
I can see you nod.
I am agreeing with Josh, but you don't know that.
It's like in space, no one can hear you scream. In podcasts, no one can see you nod.
hear you nod. Yep, that's true. I'm gonna have to actually use words.
Oh man. So yeah, Ryan, what have you got? I know you have a story for us.
I do have a story.
And I'm excited to hear the story.
I'm kind of bummed because I can't tell the really good
the whole
version
story
of the story. So this story involves a really good friend of mine, and I can't say too much because it's a kind of a private thing. But basically, the short version that I can share is a good friend of mine went through about a 2-year season of life that was just really, really awful for him and his wife and their son. He has since come out of that and is doing much better, and a part of that doing much better is he got a very nice settlement from the awful season of life that he was going through.
Yeah.
And so, as a surprise to me, I did not know that he was planning this, but he got me a Xbox Series X for Christmas.
Nice.
Which is way, way over the top because he and I normally don't... we've only ever once exchanged Christmas gifts, and I think it was we spent $20 or $30 on each other. Like, it was just not, it's never... We've never otherwise done that. So, yeah. So, I wish I could tell you more because the full story is really incredible.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a private thing.
You are now the proud owner of an Xbox Series X.
I am.
You have taken the first steps into a new world.
So, for a while, as you know, if you listen to the show, a little while ago, my PlayStation 4 just bit the dust on me, and
crying shame.
My only gaming avenue for a while was the Nintendo Switch, which is great. I've got lots of games for, so not a problem. But yeah, now you have an Xbox as well.
An Xbox Series X and access to Game Pass. So
I do have access.
You have lots of games.
So many
games to play.
I can't even play them all. There's just crazy amount of games.
Yes. Well, that's awesome.
So yeah. So.
And
yeah.
I was you know this, but I was 3 steps away from getting a Series X myself recently.
You were, and I was trying. I don't know if I was being a good friend or a bad friend, but I was trying to tempt you to join me.
At this point, I have talked myself out of it. We'll see how long that lasts. I don't know. It's hard for me to buy. It's hard for me to convince myself to buy a console right now.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing. There aren't any games out there that I'm just ooh, I've got to have on anything that I don't have, right?
Yeah.
With the Switch, obviously there are tons of games that there's always going to be a game on the Switch that I'm going to want to play. Because there's always going to be a Zelda game or a Mario game or a Metroid game.
It's coming. It's always coming down the pipeline.
It's always coming.
Yeah.
But I feel with Microsoft and Sony right now, they're just kind of copying each other with games that I'm not really interested in.
Yeah.
The new Assassin's Creed game. Okay, I've got the original Assassin's Creed, and I enjoy that much better than any of the newer ones that I've played. So
It's funny you should say that because, so this is not my review. This is just a game that I've been playing on Game Pass when I'm not playing my main game. But I actually have been playing a little bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
mm-hmm.
and I'm having a blast with it.
Sure.
But there have been I've probably played, I don't know, 5 to 7 hours, give or take. So I'm not very far. I'm on like the second little zone or area that you can go to. There have been multiple times where I'm like, oh, they just stole that from God of War, or
right.
Oh, they just took that from Horizon Zero Dawn. So it's like I never know what the right balance is between imitation is the sincerest form of flattery versus you're just copying and that's lazy.
Right.
So
but that's what all of these games are anymore, right? Like you're just rehashing the same things over and over again.
There's a lot of that.
It's like,
so I guess I can accept it if I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not gonna spend $60 on.
So yeah, right.
I mean, and that's kind of what you're saying. Like,
right.
There's nothing coming out that's like, oh, I am going to buy that day one. I gotta have it.
Yeah, like as much as I would really like to have a Series X for Game Pass. Like when I had Game Pass for PC, I had a lot of fun. It was great, just having access to the games, and to have that on a like. I know PC, blah blah blah. Like it's the same thing, whatever. But like having it on a console where it's like up. Like where I spend my time, my PC is not where I spend a lot of my time. Like having it accessible,
Yep.
Where I can just turn it on at any point, without having to separate myself from my family.
Gotta go hide in another room to play your PC.
So I don't know. There it is tempting, but I don't want to subscribe to Game Pass right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've only had it for a couple weeks, so I'm sure I'll have more to say. But I haven't bought any games for Xbox yet.
Right.
There's a couple that I have in mind, but yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Well, the reason I ended up with my PS4, there were 2 games that that I wanted to play. Then they were exclusive to PS4, and they were both very like. So Detroit Become Human, which we've talked a little bit about on this show before, like that game is super original, super interesting, super fun, cool game. Like, very very cool game. Nothing has been made like it since. And then Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man
fantastic
game, which is a great game. Granted, it's very similar to the Arkham games.
Yep.
So like it's not, but like it's different because it is different. So it's not like they just took the Arkham games and made Spider-Man. It is a different kind of game.
Yeah.
And so like that was the reason. Those 2 games were the reason I bought my PS4.
Yeah.
I don't have that with the PS5 or with the Xbox Series X, right? Like there's just not anything that I'm just like I have to have that. I want to play that game so bad.
So I will say that I have that feeling about Baldur's Gate 3 because you can only play that on. Can you play it on PS5?
I have no idea.
Maybe not. I can't remember. PC or Xbox?
I know it's on PC because we've seen Matt pop up before.
Yeah.
On my computer screen.
So I do have that feeling of.
Sure.
Must have it. Gotta have it. Will buy it. But I have a small problem with it right now, and I'm having a inner turmoil. So, if you want a physical copy of Baldur's Gate 3 for Xbox, you can order it directly from Larian Studios for a cool $80.
Yep.
And
doesn't surprise me.
there is no like base version. You have to buy. There's like a there's a collector's version or like a deluxe collector's version. There is no $60 version. It's either like an $80 or a $100 version.
Nice.
And then you have to pay shipping on top of that.
Nice.
So there's another.
They're not even giving you free shipping.
No,
with that.
so there's another $10 or $15. So
Wow.
you're talking close to $100.
Right.
For a physical game, and everyone I've talked to says that it's just absolutely incredible, and I believe them. But I don't know, man. Like that price tag for a physical game,
Yeah.
I just can't.
That's up there. That is up there. That would be tough.
I just can't do it. I mean, we've made no secret about how we feel about physical versus digital, but I just can't.
Yeah, for sure.
Spend $90 on a physical game. So
here's a question for you. I'm assuming that you did not get a bundle Xbox Series X. That it was just the standard, or was it
correct.
a bundle?
So there's another funny story to that I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
There was an attempt to get the bundle, but delivery schedule wasn't going to work, and so
gotcha.
It's just the standard Series X.
So something that I realized recently is that bundles are actually a complete ripoff anymore.
Oh?
Yeah.
Tell us more about that, Josh.
Well, because you don't have any other option. It's not really a bundle. It just comes with a downloaded game on it.
So it's not a physical game?
Yeah, you don't get a physical game with that. The bundle is not it's not even you're just getting a digital download with it. They're ripoffs.
This podcast is going to change from a show for gamers who don't have time to game to two grumpy old men complaining about digital versus physical.
Back in my day, you had to buy the copy of the game, and that was all there was to it.
This is Dead Tired Dad, a show where we rant about physical versus digital.
And the really sad thing about it is that I've realized that I find myself being just doing digital stuff rather than physical just because it's easier. But even though I know this is not what I want, this is not how I want things.
See, I'm such a contrarian that I've been going out of my way to buy physical.
Yeah.
Even if it's inconvenient, even if I can't play it for an extra 2 weeks, I'm going out of my way to get physical. And that's the inner turmoil I'm having about Baldur's Gate.
Sure.
Is I'm almost willing to pay the $90 just to be this is how much I want physical.
Yeah.
I'll pay $30 more for it, for crying out loud.
For sure.
But
for sure. Well, speaking of digital games, I did buy a digital game.
Oh, Josh, I'm just kidding.
2, in fact.
Here we go.
That I've been playing on Switch. Because there's not, as far as I could tell, there wasn't a physical copy available.
Yeah.
For these 2 games. It just wasn't a thing. So, but I talked about sometime in season 1, we talked about games that we had missed, games that we had never played but we wanted to.
Oh yeah.
That were older games that we had never played that everyone thought was great, but we had just never gotten around to playing them. So in that episode, I talked about Portal 2 as being one of the games that everyone talked about how great it was.
Right.
And and I had never played it. I'd never played either of the Portal games actually.
Yeah.
And so I actually have I have to admit that I thought that Portal 1 was Portal 2. So I thought that the first Portal was just kind of like a concept game.
Yeah.
That was just puzzles. And
right.
so I didn't realize that there was that so I thought that so I've so I bought Portal 1 and 2 on the Switch, and they had a great sale on it. It was $8 for both of them. So I was excited about that. And
see, that's the caveat right there to digital release. If you give me a great sale, yes, I'll buy digital.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
$8,
And like
yes.
I said, I don't believe, I could be completely wrong on this, but I do not believe that there is a physical version.
I haven't seen one.
I tried to look it up and I didn't find anything. So that was kind of the thing that pushed me over the edge. It was if I can't get it physically.
Right.
But I gotta say, someone should have put me onto these games a lot sooner. Like,
They definitely have a certain following for sure.
Yeah, no.
People love these games.
So I've beaten Portal 1, total, like, tons of fun. Tons of fun. Like, I
Yeah.
love if you know me, if you've listened to the podcast for long enough, you know that I'm a sucker for puzzles.
I'm nodding my head again, everyone.
I am a sucker for puzzles, and so the whole game is just right up my alley.
That's what it is.
There's actually the story for the first one was relatively interesting.
Yep.
Really good, just a simple concept of like, you're just doing puzzles, and then like there's something more, there's something behind this, kind of a thing. So very, very interesting the way that they do that. But it gets even, like, Portal 2 is crazy.
So, is it safe to assume that you beat Portal 1?
I beat Portal
Woo!
1. I did beat Portal 1. So, yeah. So something that I was thinking about, if you want to get me to beat a game, just make it linear. Like, just send me through it, and like don't give me things. Don't give me options.
No side tangents.
Don't give me options to do extra stuff. Just like send me through the game. I'll beat it.
Josh, you will finish Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, when they release the next Zelda game.
No.
That's what I did with Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom coming out. I'm going to take 20 minutes. I'm going to go beat Breath of the Wild, and then I'll be ready for it.
So, based on this schedule, you'll beat it in 6 years. Okay.
Something like that.
See you in Season 9 when Josh beats Tears of the Kingdom.
But no, I beat Portal 1. I thought it was a lot of fun. If you've never played any of the Portal games, like, what are you doing? Like, you're missing out. Don't be like me. Go play.
They are pretty fun. I've only played one, but
okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh man,
fun.
Portal 2 is a trip, dude. Like, it is like. So if you've played Portal 1, like, Aperture Science is kind of like the organization that you're kind of working for to solve all these puzzles to make, Portal 2 goes back into the history, like, you kind of start off kind of in the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then it ends up going back into the history of Aperture Science and like what it was and how it kind of developed into the thing that it is.
Yeah.
Oh, and it is just it's wild. It's wild. I was hoping to have it beaten before we recorded this podcast, but one of the great things about Portal and Portal 2, for the most part, is that they're great for kids to watch.
Even better.
Like, my daughter loves watching me play Portal. My son gets upset because he wants to watch TV. So, instead, he's like, no Portal! No Portal! Spidey!
Can't watch Spider-Man if you're playing Portal, Dad.
So, even though that's not entirely true because it is on the Switch.
It's on the Switch.
So, but I want to play it on the TV. So, the problem is that I kind of like half promised my daughter that I wouldn't play the game without her.
Oh yeah, I'm getting in big trouble with my son with that.
So like now I'm so close to beating this, but I can't because I put her to bed. So. But the last thing I did, I had gotten stuck. Like I'm at a place where I have no idea what to do. So, but like, I'm telling you, like man, you should play Portal 2. You should play Portal 2.
Now I have to play it.
Yeah, it's so good.
No, I remember when the first one came out. A friend of mine was telling me about it, and when he was telling me about it, I was like, that sounds stupid. What are you talking about? I'm not going to... go away. And then I went over to his house and played it for like 10 minutes. And for those 10 minutes, I was like, this is the dumbest game ever. This is so stupid. And then 2 hours later, I was like, this game is awesome.
Yeah, no, so much fun. And so many, like... As you get further into Portal 2, like... Some of the puzzles are just wild. Like I spent the like, and you can see the solutions, like you can see what you're supposed to do, but you can't quite figure out how to
get there,
how to make it work.
Yeah.
So yeah, like one of the last ones that I did tonight was just, I was so frustrated with it because I was like, I know exactly what this is supposed to, how this is supposed to happen. I just don't know how to make it happen. I can see the solution. I can't. It doesn't work. I don't have it. So, but right now I'm literally where I left off. I am literally just absolutely 100% stuck. So that's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Portal 1 and Portal 2, like two thumbs
up.
way up from Josh.
Nice.
Just again, like I'm a sucker for puzzles.
I saw when they announced those were coming out for Switch. I thought they'd be pretty popular because, like I said, there's some sort of I don't know if you want to call it, not like a cult following, but they have there's this group of people that just love the Portal games.
Well,
they'll buy them in every release and iteration that there are.
Well, one of the things that I was gonna bring, I thought about bringing this up in the last episode, but I figured it would probably come up in this one. It, like, as I've been playing these, I'm like, why did we stop with Portal 2? Like, what?
Yeah, where's 3 and 4 and
right? Like everyone knows, like you make a game and then you like just play it out to like till you've beaten the horse dead, right?
Yep.
And these games are like, so like from my perspective, like you could go on with this for forever, right?
Yeah.
As long as you're creative enough to come up with new puzzles.
Yeah, just gotta have more puzzles. But
so there was actually a prequel to Portal 2 that has come out.
What's that called?
That's a fan-made thing that I don't know. Portal Revolution.
Oh, okay.
Is what it's called. It's exclusively on PC, and it's basically just it's a mod, really, more than anything.
Fanfic for video games.
Yeah. That someone spent. It's a 7-hour thing that someone put together on Steam for the Portal community on there. So, it really does beg the question, like, why hasn't Valve done this themselves? More? Yeah, like, it's right there. It's right, again, this makes, the money's there to be made. I would 100%, after, where I've been at, playing these two, I would 100% play another one.
Josh ready for another.
Definitely ready for Portal 3.
There you go.
So, yeah. So, quick and easy to play. Like, I mean, definitely not something that you're gonna like. It's not too overly complicated. So, something you can definitely like pick up. I will say it is hard to stop.
It is.
But that, at least for me, like, because again, I'm a puzzle guy. So like, you put me on a puzzle and then tell me to solve it and then like leave me alone. I'm going to just jump around and like spend hours trying to solve it and beating my head against the wall until I do.
And something else that happens with that game is you solve a puzzle and kind of move on to the next one, and you get this sense of like, I want to know what happens next.
Yeah.
I want to know what happens next. I want to know what happens next. And so it kind of...
Yes.
That's what makes it hard to walk away.
Yes. So, yeah, I just can't say enough about how...
There you go.
How good the Portal games are, and I'm sorry that I haven't played them up until now. So...
There you go.
Yeah. Portals 1 and 2, 2 thumbs way, way up.
Nice. Yeah. Very good.
What have you been playing, Ryan?
Well, it's funny. You are playing a Nintendo Switch game that came with number 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. You finished number 1, but not number 2.
Yes.
I'm in the same boat.
Oh.
I got Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Nice.
Reboot for Christmas. If you're not familiar with Advance Wars, the first one was a Game Boy Advance game way back in 2001, and it's a ton of fun. And the second one was also a Game Boy Advance game in like 2003, I think. So this one's called Reboot Camp, and they essentially took the two, bundled them onto one cartridge, a physical cartridge,
Did you have
Fine,
to
I
download them?
I did not.
Oh, nice.
So I text my friend because I got it for Christmas. I went home, I put it in, and started playing immediately. There was no update.
Wow.
I was so blown away by the fact that there was no update. I was like, yes!
That is amazing.
So, yeah, I've been playing that. I beat the first one a couple days ago. I thought that I beat the first one originally, but I don't know how, because this was tough. Like, it was hard.
Well, did they make it harder?
I don't think so, because I remember a lot of it, but
Okay.
maybe I played on, like, there's a casual mode and a classic mode, so maybe,
Gotcha.
back then I played on an easier mode. If you're not familiar with these games, they are strategy war games, but they are they're very cartoonish. So you have tanks and battleships and stuff like that, and they're on a little map that looks more like a tabletop game board than anything else. So they're strategy war games, but not violent, not gory, very safe to play in front of your kids. I mentioned a minute ago I'm getting in trouble with my oldest son because he likes watching me do the missions, and he'll say, like, don't do the next battle without me, but he goes to bed and then I do the next battle. So
you're a jerk.
I know, so I have to go back and replay it so that he can see it. But
see, I can't do that with Portal because
once you know the puzzle.
Also once you've moved forward in the game, it's not.
You can't go back.
I mean, I guess I could have I could do a save.
Second save file. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So now Josh is thinking. So yeah, I've been playing that. Lots of fun. I highly recommend these games. I should say, back then I only played the first one. I never played the second one. This one, for the price of one, comes with both. So I've never played the second one. I'll be starting it soon. But my understanding is the second one picks up right where the first one left off.
Okay.
So, immediate sequel. Something really, really interesting. Like, this is an interesting, almost piece of history with this game. So, this, when they announced it, I was very excited about it. It was something I wanted. As soon as I saw it was being remastered, I was like, yes, this is a remaster I'll buy. It was announced, it got a lot of praise, and then it was originally supposed to release in April of 2022.
Oh my gosh.
But they pushed the release back because it was going to come out like 2 or 3 days after Russia invaded Ukraine. And so they didn't like the idea of a war game, which heavily involves around tanks.
Right.
They just didn't like the idea of it coming out at that point in time and what was going on, current events.
Yeah.
So that in and of itself is interesting. The original game, Advance Wars, came out on the Game Boy Advance on September 9th.
Wow.
2001.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So 2 days.
Don't want to. So it's Advance Wars' fault then.
So there's like this weird.
That is weird.
Almost like a weird curse with Advance Wars coming out around.
That's wild.
Crazy historical.
That's wild.
So obviously the first one came out 2 days before a crazy world event, but yeah,
the world changed completely.
Yeah, so it's weird. Like, I remember them pushing back the release date for this new one, but I didn't make the connection until I was looking it up, and someone in the comment section was like, interesting bit of history, and so
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's kind of wild. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's just a weird thing.
Go figure. Huh.
So
well,
yeah, but I'm having a ton of fun with it. Like I said, very safe to play in front of your kids. My 9-year-old enjoys it, and he'll say, like, he'll chime in and be like, why don't you take your tank up there and do this? My 5-year-old likes it, but he doesn't know what's going on. He
Right.
just, Daddy, why don't you take all your tanks and blow up all the bad guys and win? And it's like, yeah, if it was that simple, I would have already done it.
How does the 1-year-old feel about it?
He was sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, actually, I beat it. I finished. The final mission took me 3 tries. The first 2 I just got totally crushed. The third try, I beat at like 3 in the morning when the when the 1-year-old woke up and
Nice.
Was
Nice.
feeding and going back to sleep.
So that sounds like one I'm gonna have to borrow from you.
Yeah, you'll. I think
And
you'll
because-
enjoy this one a lot.
And because you have a physical copy,
it's physical.
I can actually do that.
Yeah.
You know. So.
So something that more and more games are doing this. I like that they're doing this. When you first load up like your save file, it tells you what mission you're on and how long you've been playing. So I was at 19 hours going into the final mission, so it probably ended up being a 20-hour game.
Yeah. Cool.
And it tells you your completion percentage. So it says I completed like 65% of it, and part of that is because at points along the way, you can choose like one of 3 missions, and they'll have different objectives, and so it changes
the trajectory
of the rest of the mission. So once you beat it, you can go back and do the ones that you didn't do.
It's kind of like a Star Fox type,
exactly.
64 type thing, where if you do the mission a certain way, it'll
take you a different. Same concept.
Gotcha.
Same thing.
So, I think so. In the last episode, I had a thing where I had forgotten what I wanted to bring up,
and I have since remembered.
I think. I could be completely wrong. This might not have been it, but we were talking about the Series X and how I wasn't going to buy one, or I almost bought one and I wasn't going to. And I was going to bring up the fact that you can with the fact that you can bring or it's backwards compatible.
Yes.
With a lot of original Xbox and Xbox 360 and things like that.
Yeah.
And Xbox One games. So one thing that that would make me buy a Series X is the fact that I do have a ton of old Xbox and Xbox 360 games. Yeah. One of which is actually Portal 2, which I had bought with the intention of playing, relatively recently.
Yeah.
And if that is in fact one of the, we'll have to look up and see.
Yeah.
If it's available as something that we'll play on the Series X, but if it is, you can borrow it and you can play Portal 2.
I will. I have the link to the Xbox website saved in my phone, so I will pull that up.
Yeah, for sure,
and look it up. Yeah.
Sorry, that was just a complete tangent off of Advance Wars.
No, that is a huge part of why I mentioned way back. It might have been even, was it season 1 when we talked about Game Pass versus Nintendo Switch versus...
Yeah, that was in season 1, I believe.
So way back then, I said that for this next, for the past couple of consoles, I had a PlayStation 3 but no Xbox 360. Then I had a PlayStation 4 but no Xbox One. I just wasn't, kind of like you're saying, there's just nothing about those that I was like, I have to have. I was just more interested in the PlayStation. But when they announced the backwards compatibility, that totally flipped. I'm not
for sure.
I'm not interested in PlayStation 5 this time around, but I was very interested in the Series X.
Although
just for the backwards compatibility alone.
The PS5, the Spider-Man game for PS5, that is one that almost pushes me over the edge to go.
I've been surprised that you haven't done that yet. I sort of keep expecting you to tell me, like, I got the new Spider-Man game.
I can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
PS5s are too expensive.
They are expensive.
So, anyway, so Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Yep.
Excellent.
Great game. Lots of fun.
Portal 1 and 2. Excellent. So, both great games. I'm going to have to borrow Advance Wars.
Yep.
For sure once you finish those. Because those sound like a lot of fun.
They are so much fun.
But I think that's going to do it So, unless you've got anything else you
I
want
don't
to
think
bring up?
so. No, I think we covered it all.
Excellent. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. Thanks so much for listening. If you could, make sure that you like, subscribe, follow, do all
the
of
things.
the things. Do them all. And we will catch you on the next episode where we talk about all the news that is dropped for February.
Yep.
In the video game world, or at least all the news that we're interested in. Because there's always a lot of news that comes out.
There it is.
But we'll talk about that all in our next episode, and we will catch you then.
Bye.